ABBA have returned after 40 years with their brand new album Voyage. The adventure began with the recording of 2 songs to accompany the band's classic hits on the Avatar tour next year. Before long, 2 songs led to 10, and now we finally have a 9th ABBA album. This feels especially momentous to me as I was born in 1996, long after ABBA had been and gone. So here are my thoughts on this new outing from, in my opinion, the greatest band of all time. This was the first song released from the album during their press conference on September 2nd. As the opening lines began, I couldn't believe I was listening to Farida's voice singing a brand new ABBA song. It was such a magical and emotional experience. On the screen I watched as hundreds of ABBA fans across the globe heard the melodies and lyrics I was hearing, each captivated in their joy and wonder. ABBA certainly did still have it in them. New spirit had arrived. I was brought to tears as the magnitude of what was happening hit me. The lyrics felt like a personal story, how ABBA were unsure for so long if they could return, but I'm so glad they did.
I believe it is in there, for I know I hear a bittersweet song in the memories we share.
As a proud Irishman, this song couldn't be better. Earlier this year, I moved from the big city of Manchester to a small town in a country I've always called home. So I can definitely relate to this song. ABBA perfectly captures the Irish spirit with a song worthy of any Cayley. The track makes me euphorically happy and the girls' voices blend beautifully, like no time at all has passed. For anyone hearing the album for the first time, it's an immediate reminder that ABBA can craft upbeat hits just as perfectly as their heartfelt ballads.
You just hear for the music, that's all or could it be? You miss the good old times when you danced with
me. When I heard Beyonce say that this was to be a Christmas song, I was sceptical. Yes, I know it's ABBA and they can do anything, but many have tried and subsequently failed to add to the Christmas classics pantheon. I leaned to worried as the group once again delivered, and the secret to their success? They didn't overcomplicate things. The lyrics really do what they say and capture the little things that make a Christmas morning special. The children's choir was a lovely touch and a far better attempt than 1979's I Have a Dream. I also felt the song was perfectly placed on the track order as it flows beautifully into its successor, Don't Shut Me Down.
for a while. Oh, what joy Santa brings. Thanks, old friend, for packing Christmas stockings full of nice little things. A while ago I heard the sound of children's laughter. Now it's quiet, so I guess they left the park.
The second track featured in the press conference was Agnetta's turn to shine. Don't Shut Me Down has a soft and gentle opening before kicking into a sound that is both unmistakably ABBA and nothing I'd ever heard before. Ben and Bjorn once again show their willingness to push boundaries and experiment with new sounds, which saw them take ABBA from folk through to disco and, as Wikipedia states, ominous synthesizer sounds of the early 80s. This song can be perceived in so many different ways. Some take the lyrics as they first hear them, a woman looking up at her ex's apartment waiting for the right time to approach. Others delve deeper to hear Agnetta sing of the willingness to rekindle a relationship, or even to return to music. Parts of the song could even be interpreted as the point of view of Agnetta's avatar. The song is infectious and feel-good and would fit perfectly amongst the tracks on ABBA Gold. It has cemented itself as one of my all-time favourites and I absolutely adore it.
I'm like a dream within a dream that's been decoded. I'm fired up, I'm hot, don't shut me down.
The song we'd all heard before. Just an Ocean was rescued from the archives and all vocals featured are from the original 1978 recording sessions. I was so curious to see how this song would sound when given a new lease of life. We got our answer when it became the third single released on October 22nd. Although some fans weren't and still aren't impressed, I for one was happy for the track to finally have its chance to shine. The demo has been expertly built upon, and I personally don't believe it sounds out of place. It stands as a wonderful addition to Voyage and really bridges the gap in time since ABBA's last release.
You're asleep on the...
Earlier today, before hearing the tracks, I read the lyrics in the songs, and when my eyes flicked across I Can Be That Woman, I turned my nose up. The lyrics seemed odd, and I couldn't see how they would form a decent song. But as I listened and the story unfolded, I really had an appreciation for them. By the song's crescendo, I was so moved. As we all know, relationships are hard work, and many times I have been in a similar situation to when Youre in this song. I found myself quite emotional towards the end as she sang about hope remaining once an argument had concluded, a snapshot of family life, of marriage, played out in a melancholy and beautiful track.
Wake up, and you're bleary-eyed. I say I'm sorry, I can see you cry.
Prior to Voyage, only 8 ABBA songs officially had a name in their title, and I was so happy to see that my name would be included in the 9th. As the weeks ticked by, I eagerly anticipated this track, convinced it would be a parody piece a la 2 for the price of 1, which I love by the way. Oh, how wrong I was. ABBA do what they do best, a simple topic of dropping your child off at your ex's turned into a dramatic and moody anthem. This is definitely a highlight in the album, with its final piano riff flowing perfectly into 1975's SOS.
Keep an eye on them, promise me you can. He gets out of hand if you let him, so keep an eye on them, and don't forget.
Recently, Beyond talked a little about the inspiration behind this track. Imagine if all the world's bumblebees were gone and we couldn't experience the simple pleasure of this fuzzy summertime visitor. But the song feels deeper than that. I almost wanted to close my eyes and be placed fully in the world crafted by the sweet lyrics. Yet, despite its tender moments of joy, underneath all of that dwells a bittersweet song, full of melancholy and longing. It's the stroke of genius we've come to expect from such legendary songwriters as Benny and Bjorn.
Feeling carefree as I listen to the hum of bumblebees.
No doubt about it immediately transported me back to The Album of 1977 as a perfect companion to Hole in Your Soul. The instrumental has a distinctively Australian flair that would have been received with open arms on their tour down under that same year. The infectious and upbeat chorus would have even the most cynical of fans up on their feet. Another case of ABBA doing what they do best is showcased as tense and negative lyrics are masked by a fun and energetic performance. Friedman and Youre sound like they still have that same fire they had back at the height of their fame. As I reached the final track, I didn't want to press play. I didn't want this experience to be over. For the first time in my life, there's been new ABBA music, and there very likely won't be any more. I knew that in just 3 minutes 32 seconds it would all be over. 3 years of anticipation and something to look forward to, and it was all about to come to a close. but all voyages must come to an end eventually. Odyssey Freedom is a perfect end to a perfect album. It calls back to the closing tracks that came before it, particularly The Way Old Friends Do and Like an Angel Passing Through My Room. It feels like a final chapter of a great novel that leaves you both satisfied, yet wanting more. If this truly is the final song ABBA ever release, it was a beautiful one to bow out to. In conclusion, this was a triumphant return. I am so overwhelmed at getting to experience a brand new ABBA record. I've dreamt of this day for so long, and when it finally came, it certainly didn't disappoint. Voyage is a perfect album for old and new fans alike, and perfectly fits in with ABBA's discography while still sounding fresh and exciting. The essence of ABBA is there, dignified and unchanged, refusing to conform to what popular music has become today. A class act as always. Thank you so much to Agneta, Benny, Bjorn and Annie Fried for taking us on one last incredible journey with you, a voyage I didn't want to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked my review, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more reviews, vlogs and other content. November is a busy month for music releases, so I will aim to get a few more videos uploaded that I hope you will enjoy.